welcome. Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered and Intentional. Thank you for tuning in now. A year from now, later, you know what we do. We be sitting and talking and just kind of conversating with the community, see what's on their minds, talking about chopping up the storm and the breeze. So Liz, it's already up there. I didn't even have to say like and subscribe.
Come on now. They know what to do. So, hey guys, happy Sunday. Welcome to the show. I don't know what's going on with the technicalities of everything. I couldn't even get my lamp to stay on just 2 minutes ago. So, pray for us, y'all. But listen, please like, subscribe, share. We try to share valuable information with you. So, if there's something that you feel that could benefit somebody else, put it out there. You know where to find us. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch. We are everywhere that you want to be. So find us, like us, subscribe, and we are happy that you chose to do something nice with us. I'm losing my words tonight. So
man. Well, I'm glad that we're here together talking. It's been it's crazy. So actually, before I start talking about everything and how crazy it's been, let me just talk about a little bit about some current events. Current events with Kia, like I always do. So I'm actually going to steal one that you gave me, and I'm glad you let me know about this. I kind of heard a little bit about it, but I didn't really get into it because shame on me. I still smoke cigarettes once on a blue moon. I'm going to say once on a blue moon because it's not always like, no, don't kill me. But the FDA proposed ban on menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. 85% of the users are Black, African Americans, and the youth. And we love our mango and grape flavors and all types of stuff. But the menthol we use a little bit differently. But no, I know. Hey guys, I know cigarette smoking is terrible, terrible, terrible. Vaping, all that's bad. Anything that you're breathing in with your lungs, I know. But when I heard the news, I was like, I'm gonna have to go buy me a pack and freeze it or something. So I just in case you might have to barter with cigarettes one day in an apocalypse. So nobody smoke no Marlboro or no lights. We need that menthol. But I'm just saying.
No, you don't need it. That's why they banned it. That's the point.
No, we don't.
No.
Gosh. I know, right? The point is to ban it because you know what they say the menthol is worse. There's like the worst type of cigarette there is, and they have the Cools and the Newports, and we trying to smoke those things. And I remember back in the day, you'll have auntie or mama or whoever tell you to light the cigarette for them, and you end up. But that's a whole nother story.
Way back in the day when they
We actually were to buy cigarettes for what the hell's happening? And wondering why people smoking.
All right.
Yeah. But that's that. So good news for that. I hope it actually passes. It probably won't once we lose the Senate. But that's my next current event to talk about. So do you think the Senate's gonna turn red? I mean, this Tuesday, Ohio vote. We're going we're gonna have North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. I mean, it's coming down the pipeline, guys. I mean, the Democrats, and I don't claim to be a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm not a Republican either. So you guys suck. I'm sorry. You guys are gonna lose. You guys are gonna make you had all the power that you had, and you didn't do nothing with it. You did all the slogans in the campaigns, and you got Sleepy Joe Biden out there. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know what to say. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, Kia. Listen, I'm anything but red all the time. You already know that, right? I know
you're wearing red right now, but okay.
You know what? I'm gonna put you in timeout. That's what's gonna happen tonight. So just because you got the hair working and everything does not mean.
No, I mean, honestly though, and that was a part of like the current event, and I don't even want it to be a current event, but unfortunately, elections are coming up. I don't think the momentum's out there. Of course, during the presidency, you have everybody voting and everybody's, telling somebody to go out and vote, grab somebody, tell a neighbor. But now, I mean,
every time it always flips over during the midterms, right? So whoever the president is, then in the off election, the off years, the other party always wins. That's very, very normal. It's to be expected. What makes this one particularly terrifying is because the other side, they literally are not patriots. They kind of come across more so as like terrorists. Hence the insurrection.
Oh Lord.
And they don't really believe in voting like that at all. They do believe in dictators. They do believe in kind of these police states that governors control. They believe a lot of things that are just not American at all. So, maybe, Sleepy Joe, as you called him, isn't exactly inspiring and everything else, but he's not power grabbing. He is not election stealing. He's not insurrection endorsing. He's not a lot of things, and we should be really really thankful
You,
for
you
that, and we should be terrified of what
well, we
happened
can go a
if
step
we
further.
end up
You
with a
think
vice
we be
president,
doing
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
do you honestly think that we would be going through what we're going through in regards to Russia and Ukraine if Trump was in office?
No, because it would have been so much easier for Putin to just get it. He wouldn't. The Ukraine wouldn't have had any help from us. Actually, if you remember, it was Zelensky that Trump was on the phone with when he did the
Well,
whole. I mean,
I'm gonna put
we
T for
can
time
help
out.
you,
I'm gonna
but
put
we're
T
going to need a
for time
favor,
out. I'm
right?
gonna put T for time out and bring a special guest in. Hey, hey, Miss Lovely, Miss Lovely
Hello,
Shawnette. Thank
hello,
you for coming
hello.
in.
Thank you for having me. Hello. It's good to be here.
You know what? It's been a minute since you've been on the show, and I wanted to invite you on the show because there's a lot of different things going on. And this month actually will make 2 years of the show. And I'm like, wow, it's been 2 years since we've been able to communicate, to gather, to talk, to put T for time out. Definitely shout out to Ty and Specs. I know Specs just pinged in, but I still reach out to Ty and stuff, so we still have much love. And then we got Nisha, who used to help out with the show, and just all different types of people who definitely collabed and helped. And the audience, of course, because without people kind of chiming in and saying how they feel. And I used to love, how the audience will kind of get back and forth with each other and all types of stuff. And I'd be like, wait, slow down. But it's been really amazing, this 2 year journey. And I was like, wow, in order for me to celebrate a 2 year journey, we need to kind of bring somebody in where it all started.
Yeah,
You were my very
great.
first guest. And the name of the show is I think it was The New Norm,
Yeah.
because COVID kind of broke out. People were shutting down like the highway. There's all types of curfews. Oh, that's right. They had the curfews because a lot of riots were going on as well. Plus
Hmm.
COVID. So people were inconvenienced
Yeah.
and they wanted to get back to their life. And one thing I'm gonna quote you on, Miss Shawnette, you was like, this is the new norm. Like, this is it, boo. Like, we're not going back to no, this is it. And 2 years later, wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm jumping with a question for Shawnette right out the gate. So, is it the new norm that you predicted? Does it compare to what it was before? Kind of fill in the blanks there. But when you said this is the new norm, what were you expecting, and how have we lived up to that, or how have we surpassed that?
Yeah. I think that's a good question. Thank you. Hey, Liz.
Hey.
That's a good question because it, when you think about a new norm, one of the things that I said is that we're not going back to what it used to be. And so then that means that there's a change.
Hmm.
And so change is not just one day or one time, it continues on. And so I think the expectation was that life would continue to change in a specific direction and
Hmm.
that we would not go back to the way that things were,
Mhm.
that people are now in a different position. And so I expect there to continue to be new norms as we keep going.
Whew.
But what I'm saying is don't get settled in today as much as to say, well, this is the way that things will be. But
Mm.
do be expectant that there will be change and be willing to be flexible and be willing to and ready to, and that's what a lot of the show's about, preparing for that change and preparing for that newness and really creating your own new norm. What is
Mhm.
normal for you, and no longer finding the standards of society to be what is for you, but finding your own. And so we talked about that too. But
Mhm.
I am so glad that we're here. What tell me, what do you guys think? Is this what you expected? Is this what
Ah,
Yikes. Akia, that's all you.
before I answer that question, I have some comments that came in, and we definitely do some.
Yes.
I will answer that question though.
Cash chimed in. Hey, ladies. Hey, Cash. Z says, good evening, ladies. Good
What up? What up?
evening. Toya says, hi, queens. We got Speck saying, hey, fam.
It's fun.
So Z says, you can't pass anything with people like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema blocking everything, all caps.
But
So,
here's the kicker, though. So they're supposed to be Democrats. Somebody voted those two Democrats in office. Like, you didn't just wake up and these people were just passing these policies all of a sudden. Like, they've already had this track record of being assholes. So, I mean, okay. But
right.
listen,
And by the way, Shawnette, we were kind of running, we were falling down the political rabbit hole right before you
it's
chimed in.
okay. It's the
And
new
I'm going to show
norm.
my
It's the
age a little
new
bit. I'm so happy you popped up like lamb chops. Y'all remember that show?
norm. Oh my goodness. I can't.
We
I
needed it. But, the next one says, he says, genuine question. How does President Biden have any fault with the Russian-Ukrainian war?
I mean, in my personal opinion, um,
Mhm.
I think that it's not per se Biden, it's not per se Trump, it's not per se Obama. I think each president has pulled a layer in hand in stirring up the pot in reference to allowing Putin to take a step further, allowing certain things to happen and not happen. I mean, I know Ukraine has been trying to get into NATO for a very, very long time. I mean, and now they're finally looking at paperwork. I mean, really, it's 2022. How many people died? And now we're saying, you know what? Maybe, we could go ahead and do this. But no, definitely, I think everybody had a role to play in it. So no, I'm not going to blame Sleepy Joe all the way. I'm not going to say, uh, crazy ass Trump. I'm not going to put it on anybody, everybody, because everybody's, to each presidency had its own, rules and regulations and the way they decided how to govern. So everybody, the UN, everybody who is
I'm going to
up
agree
on
with
that
you.
had
I'm
something
gonna
to.
agree with you, and I might surprise you. So hold on. If your shit has handles, hold on to it. Right. I think the only way that we would not have had the whole Russia situation. I think we're only at the precipice of this. By the way, I think this is the beginning of something way bigger. Personally, like I think we're
I might
there.
ask you too, Sean, that, but go ahead.
Right. But not Biden, not Trump, not Obama. But I think the only way that this would have maybe been unavoidable would have been with a President Romney or a President John McCain. Just
Mm,
saying. Because
okay.
Romney was the one that said the greatest threat out there was Russia. And literally, Obama kind of laughed at him, like, this is not the Cold War. You know what I mean? We don't need this was tied into the whole bayonets quote. And we all laughed it off. And, Romney was living in his, reliving his 80s. We had John McCain that said that Russia needed to be nothing more than a gas station and treated as such. And again, it was just kind of, oh, that was, quirky and smart and nobody was really paying attention. But a lot of that is just a superiority complex that we've been growing for years, and it's gonna beat us in the end. But I hate saying it. I take no pride in saying it, but I do feel they would have sucked for a lot of things here at home. But on an international scale, I think that would have been the only way. Would have been an old school real Republican, not this nonsense that they have now, but that would have been the only thing that would have gotten in the way. But I think everything
I
else, they
believe
could
you.
have
I 100%
the
agree, but
train
I'm
that
not
was
going to say
coming.
nothing. I'm going to bring it over to Shawnette. Girl, please let me know how you feel about this in the reference to not even just the question here about Biden being at fault and who's at
Mhm.
fault, but just this whole mess. Like, another layer of madness. How do you feel about it all in reference to this
well,
international crisis?
well I take it in as a whole event, right? Because you say international, that's global, that's the entire world. And what affects anyone in the world really does affect us all. It really is a ripple effect. That's. And so in that, then it always has been something that affects us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Whether it was this war or that one, whether it was this conflict or that one, and
Right.
uprising here or there, starvation here or there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so political unrest and war and rumors of wars,
Yeah.
all these other things, that's a part of what we're living in. And so how do we live in this thing? With
Mm,
even tomorrow being uncertain because we're not in control. And so, really having an understanding about what we are in control of, which is ourselves, then I mean, for me, that's where I put my focus. And
yeah.
that's where I bring that change in me.
Yeah. Let's go into the comments. Every time we talk politics, baby.
Hey,
Okay.
humble lion, how you been?
Hey.
So, hey, y'all, I can't believe we're still hanging on to politics and the lesser of two evils. People are under media hypnosis, and chaos brings
I'm
change, not
sorry.
peace. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, then he
it
has
goes
another.
on to say, come on, y'all, presidents do the bidding of the global elite. I know people only talk about who they see, but it's who you don't see. They want this war. And I think he's got more coming.
Well,
And before
why
we go
not?
any further, I know that we're talking about kind of wrapping up the 2 year, or we're talking about, this 2 year celebration of the show and everything else. One thing we've never done, and I'm going to toss it to the comment section. Can we do roll call? Where is everybody? Shout your
Oh,
city
that's
out.
true.
Let's see where
Wait,
you're at.
I knew one person was in the Caribbean, but I'm like, yeah, where is
Yeah, I know
everybody?
we had a couple different people represent. So, all right, everybody, just chime in real quick. Where you coming in from? So
Good.
I'd be
Thank you.
curious.
I'm just very curious. No, no, no. But just to address what Humble Lion said, I do believe that. I do believe in reference to people being the face, and then you have some other
Mhm.
bigger strings in the background, and that's for all types of organizations, from political to corporate or whatever have you. And I also want to say what you mentioned, Liz. Like, this is just the surface. We haven't really hit it. Because when we have a Republican in office, which will happen next election, and that's regardless of what you vote for, you know what I'm saying? This gonna be real, real interesting, but more to come, more to come. Um, you
Absolutely.
did mention, and thank you for kind of. Oh wait, he did say something. Where is he? Where is he from? I don't know what.
Don't know where that
Yeah, where's Jay
is.
from? Jersey? Is that Jersey? J for Jersey?
Jacksonville,
Oh, ooh,
Jackson,
I don't think
Mississippi.
he's from Florida. But anyway, yeah,
Let's
guys.
find out. We'll wait to see.
Yeah. But with that being said, I'm glad you kind of just reminded me we are at this 2 year point, and what have we touched upon? I know last episode we talked about sexual abuse, and sexual assault, and that's such a big issue, especially now that we have, um, the younger generation, and they're experiencing different things, and we definitely want to be a voice and an advocate from there. Um, just to kind of, and that's what I'm going to do just moving forward with the show, is touching upon little episodes and then kind of getting your critiqueness on it, trying to, from that last episode that we have in reference to the sexual abuse thing, what would be your advice for anyone who is not of our age, but younger generation, who feel like, I don't want to tell my mom, I don't want to tell these older people, like, let me keep it to myself. Like, what advice would you tell them to kind of share that? Because I guess it's a new thing. Like, we don't, I know we used to blab our mouths to our parents, they would tell us to be quiet, but what would you say?
It really, I could tell the children, I could tell the youth that it's important to speak with someone, to tell someone who can help them.
Mhm.
Mm,
And so sometimes talking to friends is helpful, but the friend may not be able to help them with what they need
mm,
as a result of what has happened. And so
mm,
it's important that they tell someone who can help them.
Mhm.
But also, I would have to say something to the parents, that they create an environment where their children can talk to them, where we normalize talking about the good and the bad. We don't just uh, talk about one aspect of being out, enjoying friends. We talk about all of it. And so when we create an environment where we can talk about it, there's no shame associated with it, there's no blame associated with it, then I think it makes it easier for those youth to be able to come to people who are older, that they would feel perhaps that they're in a safe place to talk, or that they might be able to get the help that they need.
Mm.
So
Thank, thank
that's
you
it.
for that.
You're welcome.
No, no, no. Thank you for that. And I say that because I know a lot of people who are younger who watch the show. And, sometimes it can be redundant to hear maybe, sister, auntie, cousin, or whatever your relationship to them. We're older than them, right? Saying these things,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of hearing a different perspective and getting that out there. So I appreciate you on that. Before we get back into the comments real quick, another good one topic show that I love was the child support topic. It blew the hell up. I mean, everybody had an opinion. Everybody had,
Everybody had an opinion.
yeah, and the opinions were going even on after the show. Just to kind of get your little view on it, we came to the consensus that the child support system does need a revamp, but there's a little nuances with that. Just in hearing in your opinion, in reference to that episode, how do you feel about the whole child support thing? Are you like, there's some heifers out there just scheming and conniving these fellas, or there's some deadbeat dads that need to go to jail? What's your opinion on that?
You know what? Everybody is different, right? And we've got some of this and we've got some of that, right? Really are people who are manipulative, use the child as a pawn. There really are deadbeats, moms and dads. You know, there really are people who are not taking care of their children, which is their responsibility. And so, what I would say, of course, is it takes the individual to make the change. Take care of your responsibilities, whether or not you have a relationship with the other parent. You be a part of their lives. Do what you can, even when you've got the parent who doesn't allow the phone call or the visit. Send the letters, send them through the grandmother. The grandmother get the letters to the baby, right? See what you can do. Put a note outside the door. Maybe, you know, do what you're able to do.
Call anyway. They'll see the missed call.
Anyway, call anyway.
Yep.
I
Mm,
did call for Christmas. I did call for your birthday. I did come to the. I was there. I did. Do
Mm-hmm.
your part, and that's what you can do. You can't control the other person, and you really can't rely on any systems
Hmm.
to manage your life.
Right.
mm, mm-hmm.
Can I tell you how much respect I have for Shawnette? I haven't mentioned that. I haven't say that. Like you know what? I believe in giving people their roses while they're here, and you deserve all the roses. Let me just tell you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Before I go into it, Liz, what your favorite episodes were in the last 2 years? Let's go to these little comments real quick, and then I can just
We
kind of
got
ask.
what? Let's
All
go
right.
to Brooklyn all day.
Wait,
Brooklyn
we got.
all day. So
Wait. Oh wait,
we were past that one, Kia. And so
yeah.
Humble Lions in
Wait, we
Virginia.
got Virginia
Okay.
and then
So we got Virginia in the house. And then Humble Lion was saying he was wrapping up that last conversation with Charles Schwab and the World Economic Forum and the fourth industrial revolution. Look into that and that will explain where we're headed.
Mm.
So
And I need to look into that because my eyes are always open. Go ahead.
So I wish we had a way to blow that up. Like, can we just
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
I love Brooklyn. I don't get me wrong. I used to live in Bed-Stuy for just a year, but I'm a Harlem girl all the way. Harlem all the
Okay,
way.
we won't hold it against you.
But it's still New York. It's still New York, though, right? Come on now. It's still New York.
it's hard
Uh
to
huh.
do.
And so, Laya said, "I wonder if Shanae got incense burning in the background. She brings such a laid back vibe. Great.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you so
Everybody
much.
thinks
Thank
that
you so much.
too. She does have incense probably burning in the background. I've been over her house plenty of times. It's a whole
Aw.
vibe. It's
Well,
a
on the
whole
panel, hold up. We're doing roll call, right, Shawnette? Where you at?
Harlem.
You're in
Harlem.
Harlem right now.
I'm in Harlem right now, always in
Oh, look at
Harlem.
you.
I move around the globe, but I'm in Harlem always. So that's always my answer.
vibe.
Beautiful.
I know that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, you heard
All right.
it.
Tia, where are you?
Oh, Orlando, Florida.
Don't, oh, that was so unexciting.
But
I mean, our
so
governor's
before
coming
we
for
start
Mickey like
talking
it's
about
nobody's business.
before we start talking about stupid ass DeSantis and all that. Oh wait, Specs chimed in and said, wait, wait,
Like,
wait.
he's
And so
repping for
yeah,
PA. He
yeah.
said he's in New York.
What was your favorite episode, Liz? And tell me why. What's going on? Tell me what's your favorite episode that you had.
Gosh. Okay, so I actually really liked it when you were talking about whether or not we should just pack up and move because we're not welcome in certain neighborhoods. And that we had this idea of, some people said, well, Africa is calling, and then you had other people. I was in the camp where I'm not leaving, get used to it.
What was that topic about? Was it the furthering the black agenda, or what was the topic about?
No, it was specifically because there was the one guy that came out and he was harassing the young black kid that was walking through his neighborhood. He got all up in his face. Um, and we were covering it because that was what was happening at the time. And
Okay.
so I don't remember the name of the episode, but we got into some weeds on that one, and that one stands out to me. And then another one of my favorites, all-time favorites, is A Woman's Place, where you're talking about Kevin Samuels and that whole mess. And we were in it. We were going back and forth. We didn't agree on anything.
No, we didn't.
We didn't agree on anything at all. And I love that episode. I personally watched that one a couple times. I'm just saying.
What about you, Shawnette?
Really, my favorite episodes were those where you guys didn't agree. It was the episodes where there were these different perspectives and you guys would really stand your ground and articulating what they were. And I loved it because it's like you're representing the audience, you're representing different people with different ways of thinking. And so it's kind of, it's like it's great when we can agree, but everybody doesn't always agree. And so I always
Right.
loved it. I love uh, your guest, Mr. Haskins.
Ah,
Every
Charles.
time
Give a shout out to Charles.
he was on, he brought his perspective, he stood in it, he articulated well and it just really, I was always grasped and captivated by those where you guys were having and sharing those different opinions. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Give a shout out to Charles. A couple of guests came on here and just had those opinions. I know what's his name? See, I know him by his real name. I don't know. I don't want to put his real name out there. Is I Horace. He has
Uh-huh.
came on a couple of times and he has some starch ideas and opinions, and definitely that is something that sometimes when we do the show, Shawnette, the show will continue after it's being aired.
Mhm.
And I know you guys don't know that out in the audience. Like we will, it's off because we can't have you guys talking for a whole hour and 2 hours, but we'll be in the back just still conversating and still going on. And that was the premise of the show. Just kind of just talking about and airing it out on camera because it's like I wonder how other people feel. When I asked Ty initially, I was like, we used to have these political conversations all the time. And we want to know why the fuck black people think the way they think, and why does the government think and do the things that they do, and why are we just so all over the place? And then now Corona hit, you can't go anywhere, and we just thought to ourselves, this would be a good opportunity, to see what other people had to say. And I remember, Liz has always been a loyal guest, so this is before Liz joined the actual show. Liz would just be watching. She'd be like, "Hey, ladies, good evening," and it would just be me and Ty. And I was like, "Who could be the first guest?" And I wanted you, Shawnette, to be that first guest because it was like you had that like aura, that sense of like explaining and everything. And I say this, guys, just because I was at a point that I'm like, you know what? I think my chapter with the show has kind of came to an end, and I went and told, Liz, and I told Shawnette, and they were like, okay, like that's a big step because, 2 years is a long time, vested in the show. And I came to the decision that I want to take a hiatus for the show. And it's kind of, I'm gonna give you all emotional. I didn't know I was gonna get like the teary eye. I still be around and everything, but I just wanted to take a break. I can't. I think I'm at a time with the show that I'm kind of on one way. I love the show. I love talking to people. I love talking about the issues at hand. And then on the other end, I kind of have like a writer's block, if that makes sense. Um, I'm frustrated. I want so much for our people. I want so much for the community. And this is just a little smidgen of what I could possibly do, and I think that we definitely have so much more work, to be. Now, I'm not going to give up the Facebook page. I'm not going to do that because Liz was like, "Well, Kia, what happens if the aliens came? Like you have always been prophesizing." She was like, "What happens if this takes place?" And you're just going to dead everything. I was like, "Well, no, we need to talk about that." Especially when I met Specs, because I know you in the audience, Specs. We needed to prep. We needed to talk about some fucking prepping because people were dying. Nobody had toilet paper to wipe your ass. We needed to know how was we going to
Texas
survive.
froze at one point.
Yes. And so that's how I met Seth. And we developed a relationship and he was just a good, person to bring on. And then getting to know him even more, it was like, oh man, he's a wild boy. You know, Specs of all his different jobs. And I know you out there listening, but no, he has so many skills, so many skills. But with that being said, it was just like, what's the next chapter? How can I do this on a bigger scale? How can I help my community even better? And I know I spoke with you, Shawnette, and you've always given me the blessings. And I definitely support and I thank you, Liz, for always being there, you know. Holding your girl down. Because I'm telling you, you guys, you don't know it, but I will call her up. I'm like, I can't do the show no more. I can't. And she's like, Akia, jump off. Don't jump off the ledge. And then I'll get a text message from somebody, like a message, and like, man, I'm going through something. I really appreciate the show. You were able to take my mind, off of what I'm going through. Or I'm so glad you're talking about it because you're saying something that I've been wanting to say.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that I am gonna put the show on a halt. I will maybe do it maybe once every other month or something like that. Just kind of, you know, touching
Just get to
in.
know friends. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because we finally have a winner also for the scholarship, right?
We do have a winner. We're not announcing tonight.
No, no, no. But we do have a winner, so I can't just let that go. But just in general, I love the audience. I love the guys. I love all the support. So I just want to say to you guys out there, thanks so much for supporting the show. Thanks, Alistair, for being the tech guy with Liz.
Yes. Thanks, Cash, for being
Thanks,
the tech
Cash.
guy with
Thanks,
Tia.
Nisha. Thanks, oh my God, so many people have helped with the show. It's amazing. It is amazing. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you, thank you, thank you. I didn't want this show to be a whole hour show. Um, at one point it was because we were gonna have the winner come on, because we found out who the winner was for that scholarship. But this is gonna be a short show, but I love you guys. I really, really do. Oh my God, I would cry. Stop.
Let
I'm
me
crying.
say, let me say one thing real quick.
Mhm.
We have tear ducts for a reason.
I don't want to cry. Stop. No, I really, really appreciate it. I've came really far with the show, and I'm really, really appreciative that so many people have supported this journey. Like I said, I'm not completely, finished. Like I never talk to the audience again or whatever, but just in a general sense, I just really, really thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I never got to meet you, Humble Lion. I would love to have you on the show because you definitely have opinions for days, and excuse me,
Very.
you have facts. Right, yeah, for days. So definitely, some comments are coming in. Um, oh, I'm glad I'm
Toya
changing
said,
the
say it
subject.
ain't so. I can't even read that. That's just a lot of emotion.
Yeah,
Toya says blessings, blessings, and more blessings, and back
yes,
at you.
yes.
Um, Z says, I just want to let you ladies know that this show has been my Sunday ritual since I found it, and I'm going to miss this. I'm proud of what you two have brought to our community. Much love to you both. You have a fan in me, wishing you the best.
Oh, you're making me
Thank
cry.
you, Z from Brooklyn.
You're making me cry. Like I said, yeah, guys. I didn't wanted to leave the show with Shawnette because of the fact that she was my original guest. Um, you do give that sense, that vibe. You do give that flow. Oh my God, I don't want to do this, but thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. Thank you, Liz, for always supporting me.
Love you guys. Don't forget, we are going to announce the winner. So we're not gone just yet. It's like a rolling goodbye. And somebody just popped in. A great place to be with those of like minds.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be in contact. I'm not leaving completely. I ain't died. But I definitely feel that the show can do bigger and better things, So however that is and what that looks like, we definitely want to take the community with us. Oh, yes, I love you too, Specs. So I love you.
appreciate
Bye,
you,
guys.
Charlotte. And we're going to be getting together soon, Kia.
I don't want to cry on the air and look crazy, but thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.